At the compass box tables at the whiskey festivals we do around the world, we frequently get people coming up to the table and saying, they'll look at our malt whiskeys, Spice Tree, Oak Cross, Peat Monster, and they'll say, are these single malts or are they blends? And we'll reply by saying, well, these are blended malt whiskeys. And we'll very often get a puzzled look on the person's face. And so what I want to do now is explain the difference between a single malt whiskey and a blended malt whiskey. Single malt Scotch whiskey and blended malt Scotch whiskey. At another time, we'll talk about the difference between blended malt Scotch whiskey and blended Scotch whiskey, but that's not for now. Behind me, there are about 20 Benrinnes casks. There are all sorts of different casks in this room that I'm standing in, but right here, about 20 different Benrinnes casks. And I can see at least 3 different cask types, yeah? Casks that have had previously held different kinds of wine or made from different kinds of oak. But if we were to take all these 20-odd casks and vat them together, even though there'd be huge flavor differences between many of them because of the different kinds of casks, if we blended them all up, that would be a single malt from the Benrinnes distillery. However, if we discovered that by taking that cask of Clynelish and blending it into the same tank as all these Benrinnes, that it actually made something altogether more compelling and more delicious and more interesting to drink, well, why wouldn't we do that? If the fruitiness and the waxy character from Clynelish brought another layer of flavor complexity to that Benrinnes and made it more interesting, why wouldn't we do it? And that's what we do when we're making blended malts at Compass Box. A blended malt is a blend of more than one single malt. So now you know the difference between single malt and blended malt. And I ask you to think about why, if that makes those better, how is it that a blended malt whiskey could possibly be inferior to a single malt? In any case, now you know the difference between a single malt whiskey and a blended malt whiskey.